Picture the exact moment. He's done trying. Stops texting first. Stops initiating plans. Stops caring if she's happy. Completely checks out emotionally. And within hours, something shifts in her. The woman who was distant for months is suddenly texting, calling, asking to see him, available in ways she hasn't been in forever. And he's standing there confused as hell, thinking, what just happened? Same woman, same relationship. Only one variable changed. His level of investment dropped to zero. And the instant it did, her attraction spiked, like flipping a switch. What if I told you this isn't coincidence? What if I told you that female attraction operates on a paradox so contradictory, so backwards from what society teaches, that most men go their entire lives never understanding it? Millions of mortals experience this pattern. They try everything to make her happy, put in effort, show they care, and watch her pull away. Then the moment they stop caring, she comes back, and they have no idea why. I've watched this paradox destroy and confuse men across more time than you can imagine. The same impossible contradiction playing out in every era, every culture, every type of relationship. Today, I am going to reveal why this happens and why it is actually the most predictable pattern in female psychology once you understand the mechanism. But I need to warn you, this will contradict everything you've been taught about attraction, everything you believe about how relationships work. Pay very close attention. Here's the paradox mortals can't escape. The more a man invests in a woman, demonstrates care, shows emotional availability, the less attracted she becomes. The moment he withdraws that investment, stops caring about the outcome, becomes emotionally unavailable, her attraction spikes instantly. She pursues what retreats from her. She retreats from what pursues her. It's logically contradictory, psychologically inevitable, and it happens every single time. This isn't my theory. This isn't opinion. I've observed this exact pattern thousands upon thousands of times. Same paradox, same confusion, same predictable result. You see, mortals have been programmed with a fairness narrative. Society tells you relationships should be reciprocal. You invest, she invests. You care, she cares. You show effort, she shows effort. Equal exchange, balanced scales. That's how healthy relationships work, right? But here's what actually happens in reality. The moment you care more than she does, the moment your investment exceeds hers, the moment she can feel that you need the relationship more than she does, attraction begins dying. Not slowly, instantly. Her brain registers the imbalance and recalculates your value downward. Let me show you how this manifests. I watched a man spend 6 months being the perfect partner, planned thoughtful dates, remembered small details, communicated openly, showed up emotionally. Everything relationship experts tell you to do. And every week, she became more distant, colder, less responsive, making excuses not to see him. He thought I must not be doing enough, so he tried harder, more effort, more attention, more care. She pulled further away. Then one day he's done, completely. Stops initiating, stops planning, stops reaching out, starts going out with friends, focusing on himself. Not angry, not playing games. Genuinely stopped caring if the relationship continued. Within 48 hours, she's at his apartment, unannounced, asking what's wrong. Why is he being distant? Can they talk? Suddenly available, suddenly invested, suddenly pursuing. Same woman, same man, same relationship. The only variable that changed? His level of care dropped to zero, and her attraction inversely responded. The less he cared, the more she did. The paradox in action. And this is why you've been confused your entire life. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because the rules you were taught are backwards. Society handed you a playbook where caring creates attraction, Every single principle is inverted from how female psychology actually operates. But here's where this gets fascinating. This isn't just about effort or attention. It's about something far more fundamental. When a man genuinely stops caring, when he truly becomes outcome independent, his entire energy shifts. And women feel that shift instantly. Not consciously, neurologically. Her brain is scanning for certain signals every time she interacts with you. And the moment those signals change, her attraction response changes. What signals? Outcome dependence, need for validation, attachment to her approval, investment in the relationship continuing. When you care deeply, when you're trying to make it work, when you need her to stay, you're broadcasting all of those signals constantly. Through your texts, your tone, your body language, your availability. Every interaction screams, I need this to work. And her brain, running ancient programming, interprets those signals as low value. Because high-value men, men with options, men with abundance, don't need any particular woman. They're fine either way. So when you're trying hard, when you care deeply, you're accidentally signaling scarcity. And scarcity kills attraction faster than anything else. But here's where the paradox becomes truly impossible. She doesn't want you to not care. She wants you to care. She wants emotional connection. She wants a man who's invested. Every conscious thought she has says, I want someone who values me, who tries, who cares about our relationship. That's what she'll tell you she wants. That's what she believes she wants. Yet the moment you give her that, the moment you care, her unconscious attraction system shuts down. It's not a choice she's making. It's not something she controls. Her conscious mind says this is good. He cares about me. Her unconscious mind says this is low value. He needs me too much. And attraction is controlled by the unconscious, not the conscious. So she's trapped in a paradox she didn't create. She genuinely wants a man who cares. But she's biologically wired to lose attraction to men who care. She wants emotional investment. But she's psychologically designed to pursue emotional unavailability. The contradiction exists inside her own brain. Two incompatible desires that can never both be satisfied. Let me show you another angle of this. I knew two men interested in the same woman. First man, clearly invested, texts her regularly, makes plans, compliments her, shows interest, available whenever she wants. She's polite but distant, not interested. Second man barely acknowledges her existence, responds to her texts hours later, cancels plans, doesn't compliment, clearly has other priorities. She's obsessed, trying to get his attention, planning her schedule around his availability. Same woman evaluating two men. One shows high investment. She feels nothing. One shows low investment. She feels everything. Logic says she should prefer the man who values her. Biology says she prefers the man who doesn't. The paradox playing out in real time. I've observed this contradiction across 3 millennia. Ancient Greece, medieval Europe, modern America. Technology changes. Clothing changes. Language changes. But mortals still pursue what retreats and retreat from what pursues. The paradox never resolves. It just repeats with different faces. And here's what makes this truly brutal. She can see the pattern. Most women, if you ask them, will admit it. I know I shouldn't be attracted to guys who don't care. I know I should value the ones who treat me well. I can see that I'm doing this, but I can't stop it. The attraction isn't there for the good guy. It's there for the one who's indifferent. She's aware of the contradiction. She can intellectually understand it's irrational. She can consciously wish she felt differently. But she can't change the feeling. Her attraction system operates below conscious control. She's trapped watching herself repeat a pattern she knows is dysfunctional, but can't override. You know what really pisses me off about this? Society sets you up to fail by teaching you the exact opposite of what works. Every message you receive from childhood says caring is attractive. Showing emotion is strength. Being invested makes her feel secure. Communication builds connection. Effort demonstrates value. They program you with principles that guarantee failure. Then when you follow those principles and she loses attraction, they blame you. You're too needy, too available, too invested. Not enough mystery. You need to play it cool. They never tell you the system itself is backwards. They never tell you that caring is what killed the attraction in the first place. They just sell you more advice about how to care better, try harder, invest more, which makes the problem worse. And they profit from your confusion. Dating coaches selling courses on how to show value. Therapists billing sessions about communication. Self-help books about vulnerability and emotional openness. All of it. They're selling you solutions that intensify the problem because the problem is the solution they're selling. You can't win playing their game because the game is rigged. But here's what they don't tell you about this paradox. The moment he stops caring isn't random. It's not just about withdrawing attention. It's about a fundamental shift in his internal state. When a man genuinely stops caring, when he reaches true outcome independence, his entire being changes. His energy, his presence, his frame, everything shifts. And women feel that shift instantly, not because they're trying to, not because they're consciously monitoring, but because female attraction is primarily responsive to male energy, not male actions. You can fake the actions, pretend to be busy, wait to text back, act indifferent, but you can't fake the energy. She'll feel the difference between genuine indifference and strategic withdrawal. When you genuinely stop caring, several things happen simultaneously. Your neediness disappears. Your validation seeking ends. Your outcome dependence evaporates. Your anxiety about losing her vanishes. Your frame becomes unshakable. And all of that broadcasts through every interaction. She feels it before you say a word. Her brain registers high-value male, abundance, options, outcome independence, security in his own worth. All the signals that trigger attraction. Not because you're playing games, because you genuinely embody those qualities when you stop caring about her specifically. Let me take this deeper. There's a neurological component to why she feels it instantly. When you care deeply, your nervous system is in a state of mild anxiety around her. Will she text back? Is she happy? Does she still like me? Is the relationship okay? That anxiety creates micro behaviors. Tension in your voice, eagerness in your responses, accommodation in your actions, reading into everything she says. She's not consciously noticing those micro behaviors, but her mirror neurons are picking them up constantly. Her brain is reading your state through 1,000 tiny signals. And all of those signals say anxiety, need, investment beyond what she's giving. Her attraction system interprets that as lower value than her, imbalanced dynamic, not attractive. But the instant you stop caring, that anxiety vanishes. Your nervous system relaxes. The micro-behaviors change. Tone becomes more relaxed. Responses less eager. Actions less accommodating. Reading into things stops. And she feels that shift immediately because her mirror neurons are reading a completely different state. Calm, secure, indifferent to outcome. Her brain reinterprets you as higher value. Attraction spikes. In all my time watching human dynamics, this is the cruelest irony. What mortals call love, care, devotion, investment, all of it triggers the opposite response it's supposed to. The man who cares least wins. The man who tries hardest loses. And both are trapped in a game neither understands. The rules are backwards from what makes sense. Here's another manifestation of the paradox. I watched a couple on the edge of breaking up. She's checked out. He's desperate, trying everything to save it. More communication, more effort, more displays of care. She's cold, distant, already 1 foot out the door. Then he stops, not strategically. He's genuinely exhausted, done trying, accepts it's over, starts making plans for single life. Emotional investment drops to 0. Within days, she notices, asks him what's wrong. He says nothing, genuinely means it. She starts trying harder, initiating conversations, suggesting date nights, being affectionate. The dynamic completely inverts. When he was fighting for the relationship, she was leaving. When he stops fighting, she starts fighting. Same relationship, same 2 people. Only variable is where the investment imbalance sits. The paradox is that she needs him to care less than she does for attraction to exist. But if he cares less than she does, the relationship dynamic feels off to her consciously. So she's trapped between what attracts her, outcome independence, and what she wants consciously, mutual investment. She can't have both. The moment she gets mutual investment, attraction dies. The moment attraction exists, mutual investment is impossible. Most mortals spend their lives bouncing between these 2 states. When she's pulling away, he invests more to pull her back. Investment spikes, her attraction drops further. Eventually, he gets exhausted, stops caring. His investment drops. She feels the shift, pursues him. Her investment spikes. He interprets this as relationship improving, starts caring again. His investment rises. She feels that. Attraction drops, she pulls away again. The cycle repeats endlessly. Neither person is doing anything wrong. Both are responding rationally to what they're experiencing. But the underlying mechanism guarantees they'll never be invested equally at the same time. When he invests, she withdraws. When she invests, he withdraws. The paradox creates a permanent imbalance that keeps the dynamic alive, but never satisfied. And here's the kicker that changes everything. This isn't about manipulation or games, or being an asshole. This is about genuine outcome independence. The difference between strategic withdrawal and genuine indifference is everything. If you're pretending not to care, if you're playing aloof, if you're using tactics, she feel the difference. Your energy will still broadcast need underneath the performance. But when you genuinely stop caring, when you truly become outcome independent, when you reach a state where you're fine either way, that's when the shift happens. And mortal, you can't fake your way there. You can't technique your way to genuine indifference. You have to actually reach a state where the relationship outcome doesn't matter to you. Most men never reach that state because society convinces them caring is the goal. You're supposed to care. You're supposed to be invested. You're supposed to want the relationship to work. So they never allow themselves to truly let go. They never reach genuine indifference. And they stay trapped in the pursuing position, wondering why she keeps pulling away. But here's what nobody tells you. The moment you genuinely stop caring about any particular woman, the moment you reach true abundance mentality, where she's optional, not essential, that's when you become genuinely attractive. Not because you're withholding, because you've transcended need. And transcended need is the most attractive quality that exists. Here's the final piece of the paradox. Once you understand this, once you see the pattern clearly, you face an impossible choice. Do you care, knowing it will kill attraction? Or do you not care, which maintains attraction but prevents genuine connection? Because genuine connection requires mutual care. But mutual care kills the attraction dynamic that makes her want you. So you're trapped in the same paradox she is. You want a relationship where you can care, where you can be invested, where you can show up fully. But the moment you do those things, you trigger the mechanism that ends attraction. You have to choose between authenticity and attraction, between being yourself and being wanted, between genuine care and genuine desire. And that's the impossible contradiction at the heart of modern relationships. What mortals call love, investment, care, devotion, all of it is fundamentally incompatible with sustained attraction in the female brain. You can have attraction, or you can have partnership, but you can't have both at the same time. The moment one appears, the other disappears. So let me make this crystal clear. This isn't about her being broken. This isn't about women being irrational. This is biology. Evolution wired female attraction to respond to signals of high mate value. And high mate value is signaled by abundance, options, outcome independence. The moment you demonstrate scarcity through caring too much, you signal lower mate value. Her attraction isn't a choice. It's an automatic response to perceived value. So what do you do with this information? First, understand that caring kills attraction, not because caring is bad, but because caring reveals investment imbalance. If you care more than she does, you're in the lower value position. Attraction requires her to feel like you're higher value than her. Those two states cannot coexist. Then recognize that genuine outcome independence is the only sustainable solution. Not playing games, not pretending. Actually building a life you're genuinely fulfilled by with or without her. Actually having options, or at least the mindset of someone who has options. Actually being fine if she leaves. That state, genuinely embodied, maintains attraction because it maintains the value dynamic. And finally, accept the paradox. You cannot have both mutual caring and sustained attraction. You have to choose which matters more. Most men want both. They want her to desire them, and they want to invest deeply. But biology doesn't allow both. The moment your care exceeds hers, desire ends. You can chase the fantasy of mutual devotion, or you can accept reality and work within it. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The man who stops caring isn't playing a game. He's reached a psychological state where he genuinely doesn't need the relationship. And that genuine indifference is what triggers her pursuit. But the moment he cares again, the moment he gets invested in her response, the dynamic flips and she withdraws. The paradox perpetuates itself endlessly. This is what I've observed across thousands of years of human behavior. Mortals who try to care their way to attraction fail every time. Mortals who genuinely embody outcome independence maintain attraction effortlessly. Not because they're better men, because they're signaling higher value through their indifference. The game is rigged. The rules are backwards. And fighting against them only makes you lose faster. The choice is yours. You can keep believing that caring should create attraction, that showing investment should build connection, that being a good partner should make her desire you. You can keep following advice that teaches you to care more, try harder, invest deeper. And you can keep watching attraction die every time you do. Or you can accept the paradox. Accept that female attraction operates on contradiction. Accept that what she says she wants and what actually attracts her are opposites. Accept that the moment you care, you lose, and build your life accordingly, not around getting her, around being genuinely fine without her. That's when everything changes. I'll be watching.